strongly and you bravely lead your family as you teach yourself about God's truths. And then you, in turn, can teach your family. If today, not only are you nervous, but you're unsure of how you can teach yourself besides just coming here on Sunday mornings, you need to get a hold of one of the ministers this week. We are living in the age of information. There is a study for you, your type. If you want to come to your computer, if you want a notebook so you can write in it, if you want a book to read, whatever level, it's out there. There is so much information out there. Whatever you want, you're interested in, I would ask you, what do you want to know about God? That would be a great place to start. If nothing else, just crack the Bible and start reading it. I would suggest starting in the New Testament. And let your children see you study. That's teaching them too. This is important to me. Sit down and study about God. Now, children, I would like to ask you, and that would be all of us in the room, right? Do we honor our fathers? Honoring our father is command number 5. That was written in stone by God's hand, given to Moses. What exactly does it mean to honor? Because obviously there's many of us who've been hurt by our dads. So how can we honor him? So I looked it up. It means to give credit and recognition. That would be for the position that they hold. We are able to do that even if we don't agree with our dads and how they fathered. So some questions we can ask ourselves about honoring is, do I talk bad about my dad? Do I disrespect him as a person? Do I disrespect his job, his looks, his clothes? Do I complain to others about the decisions that he makes? And wives, do we respect our husbands? I'm talking to myself here again. Do we build him up with our words in public and in private? What does our body language say? We can disagree and even discuss our differences without disrespecting. It's a lot more challenging. We have to be a little more creative, but it can be done. Each one of us has control over one person. Each one of us has the ability to change one person. It's ourselves. If we begin to treat others with honor and respect, many times, not always, obviously, everybody always has a choice in how they're going to act. Those people will in turn treat us the same. We have to let down some pride. We have to be willing to be the first one to do it. We've all learned that golden rule, and you can find that in the Bible too, in Matthew 7:12. Do to others as you would have them do to you. In the book of James, well, that would be a great book to start reading. And I got to tell you, every time I read it, I feel like I get slapped around. He talks a lot about the tongue. In James chapter 3, verse 5, James says, likewise, the tongue is a small part of the body, but it makes great boasts. Consider what a great forest is set on fire by a small spark. The tongue also is a fire, a world of evil among the parts of the body. It corrupts the whole person, sets the whole course of its life on fire, and is itself set on fire by hell. It's true, isn't it? Our tongues can cause more damage to natural forces because we are damaging another human being, another person who has been made in the image of God. James goes on to say that no man can tame the tongue. We can't do it. That is something that we have to beg God to help us with. And he also says later on in that chapter, when we praise God and we turn around and we curse men, it's the same as a spring having fresh and salt water. It's just not possible. We can't do both, or one or the other. Ephesians chapter 4. Verse 29. It says, do not let any unwholesome talk come out of your mouths, but only what is helpful for building others up according to their needs, that it may benefit those who listen. I don't know about you, but when I practice this verse, I wish I practiced it all the time, a lot of conversation is eliminated. Hebrews 12:14 tells us to make every effort to live in peace with all men. Let's personalize that with the message today. Fathers, make every effort to live in peace with your wife and kids. Children, make every effort to live in peace with your dad. Wives, make every effort to live in peace with your husbands. What would our families look like if we practiced this? Thomas and family doesn't always practice this. We're still trying. We still fail. What would it look like? What would society begin to look like as it reflects the family? The dads, you're the leader in the family. Your family's going to follow your example. A few weeks ago, I went to see Star Trek with Brian, and I've got to admit I'm not a Star Trek fan. I don't know that I've ever watched an episode. I know the word Spock, Captain Kirk, and Enterprise, and that's about it. So if I'm pulling out a meaning here to some of you fans, whatever, I don't know. This is what I got out of the movie. I understood it to be about James T. Kirk finding his way as a young adult. He had lost his father as an infant and was very bitter over it. And he had grown up with a chip on his shoulder, was a hothead, he was reckless. After a bar fight with some students from an academy out there, I don't know, I'm sure there's a name for it. Jonathan goes there. If anybody's going to know who's Jonathan. The instructor approached James T. about inviting him to go and study at the academy because he saw in him a good captain. Kirk was adamant that he would not go. In fact, that's how his father had died. They had a short-lived argument, and then the instructor got in Kirk's face and he said, "Your father was captain of a ship for 12 seconds. In that time, he saved the lives of 800 people, yours and your mother's included. I dare you to do better." Dads, men, I don't know how you described your dad. I don't know if he was good or bad. I don't know if you're trying to be like him or not. Either way, I dare you to do better. Would you close your eyes with me right now and pray? Actually, just think about right now, each one of us in this room. Dads, wives, children. What is it we need to do to start honoring and respecting each other, our fathers especially, as we talked about that today? God, I thank you for our fathers. I thank you for the men who are sitting in this room. I thank you that they are seeking you. God, I thank you for the men in this world. I just pray that you would give them strength and wisdom and courage as they lead their families, as they provide for their families, as they teach. The many, many things I haven't even mentioned today that our fathers do. God, give them the strength and the